we'll talk some small about the kidnapping and everything.
Okay, welcome again to Nigerian politics. Today we're going to be discussing Peter Obi's concern about the pressing issues, especially after the president, delivered a speech on New Year's Day. And we need to discuss that is Kunle, Warif, Said, and Mustafa. You guys are welcome to the show.
Wow, you have a good memory.
Thank
You see
you.
everybody. Everybody's saying, let me see if I can say it fast. Let me see if I can say it fast. Hey, Warif, how's things going? Hey, Kunle, how's things going? Hey, Said, how's things going? Hey, Afolabi, how's things going? Hey, Moose, how's things going? I said everything. Usually I'm drunk. It's because I didn't drink this morning. I remember all the names. Okay, so let's get started. So Obi had a speech, or he addressed the press. And to me, he didn't address them effectively. What he was saying was true. He said the country's not doing well. Then he said that Tinubu needs to spend less time traveling around foreign countries and come back to Nigeria and visit each state for at least 2 days, which is true also.
He will break down.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
yeah, you're audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
He'll break down if he has to do it. And
He will break down.
he also mentioned, and this is, so to me, what he's supposed to say, Tinubu's excuse will be that I'm going to France and I'm going to all these other countries because I'm securing Nigeria's economy. So I think that Obi needs to start talking more specifically. Don't say things like, oh, don't go to Europe. Because when you say that, people will think you're ignorant because they will counter by saying, no, he's going to Europe because he's doing business for Nigeria. What Obi should be saying is, what is Tinubu doing in Nigeria, in France, selling our country? That's the approach he should take. He should become more aggressive, and rather than say, oh, he needs to come and spend time with us and do nice guy, call him out. We know that, and he needs to do his homework. He needs to tell us the history of France and Nigeria and West Africa and tell people, why is this guy going to Nigeria to sell our country? Because all he said is, oh, he needs to spend time in Nigeria. And a lot of the politicians who support Tinubu are saying, oh, he's going there because he's securing our country. So what Obi needs to do is get down to and prove that Tinubu is making decisions which are bad for Nigeria's economy. And there's also the question about they're claiming, what are they claiming? That the inflation has gone down from 36 to 15. Is that what Tinubu's claiming?
No, he's saying
Obi
that
has been complaining that Tinubu is cruel.
He'll bring it down
to 15. Yeah.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible. But Obi is being vague. He just says, oh, it can't go down to that level. He can't bring it down to that level. But we need to say why we can't bring it down to that level. Prices of fuel and things are going up. We have to have our fuel.
The economy is not
in
working.
Other countries, and there's no way you can slash the economy by half, and you don't have any growth, and none of our and the loans that we have to pay back to Western countries. He has to have a bigger plan than that. And for that to happen, we would have to have more industry. Nigeria doesn't have industry. Our oil is being made in Malta. And on top of that, when guys like, what's the guy's name? Dangote wants to refine, they're what you call it, frustrating him. So the government is doing nothing to build industries and to build our infrastructure. And they're talking about they're going to slash the inflation. What are your thoughts, Lorato? I said Lorato. See, I started again. What are your thoughts, Wari?
Well, when I listen to what what's it called? Tinubu, sorry, not Tinubu. Peter Obi said. When I listen to Peter Obi, well, I'll give him kudos because his IQ is not easy for you to say things like that. That means he has something inside of him. And that's what most Nigerian leaders are lacking. Even if they have it, they're not able to put it into full use. Why? Because of politics. Because if everybody wants to support their parties and their principal officers. So, what is it called? Tinubu should, like what Peter Obi said, he said, you are talking about reform, but the economy is not working. No job, nothing. Travel to these states. Go and see how they are doing. Go and see the employment. People that are in IDP camps, how are they going to pay tax? You have to create these jobs for people to be able to pay tax. Somebody that is not doing anything now, the economy is not working. How do you want them to pay tax? Instead, that means you are putting more labor on them. Make the thing work first before you start talking of putting, just like a car. When you want to give a car labor, you want to put a heavy duty work on the car, you have to service the engine. Make sure the engine is standard. Make sure the brakes and everything. That's what Tinubu is supposed to do. Then him saying that Tinubu should travel to all the 36 states in Nigeria, maybe each state spend 2 days each day. I bet you Tinubu will break down because that thing is not easy. And there are so many work for you to do. You have to put security checks in order. Mostly those states in the north where you have banditry. It's not that easy. So
that's that he doesn't even have control over his own country. Yeah. The guy is a puppet.
Yeah, and again, and again, the man, somebody said to me after watching the was Peter Obi's speech, he said, why would Tinubu travel around the 36 states in Nigeria when he governors? No, he should make plans to travel to see how the governors, whether APC governor, PDP governors, or Labour governors, how are they doing? Because if it depends on just what the
and also
governor
see how the
tells you,
people are doing.
that
See how people are struggling.
Yes, you have to see things. Don't just go to GRA or go to Lekki or whatever. Go to the rural, the villages or some interior places and see how are they living. How the governors doing? How the local government doing? Those are the things. You have to go down. I know they have governors, they have local government chairmen and councillors, but sometimes take them unaware.
Yeah, but I think the main problem is that even if he does, the big thing is what is he going to France and to Britain to do? No matter what, even if he goes to the local states, he will see people suffering. What will be his plan to fix the suffering? He doesn't have an economic plan. As far as I can see. Maybe I'm wrong. So maybe you can answer this question for me.
Was complaining.
Yeah. So what do you think? No, let me go to Fabi. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Well, basically, you mentioned industrialization, and that has always been Peter Obi's template, productivity.
Yeah. I mean, in line with BRICS. In line with BRICS.
In line with BRICS. As a country, if you're not earning foreign exchange from things that are produced from Nigeria, how do you develop? Those are the indices for economic development. We export everything in Nigeria, and even the crude oil that we have here naturally that we're supposed to be producing here and sending out, apart from natural gas, which we should really, concentrate on.
There's no quickly, if we build our industries enough, we won't even need to bring dollars in. The central bank can print more naira and have internal, like we can have dual economy, dollar and internal. But that's depending on in industry. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Of course, and that can be done also without necessarily having inflation. Dollars. So basically, what I feel is that going around the 36 states may not be feasible, but at least the major states that contribute to the GDP of the country, it should hold the governors accountable if they see him physically. And Peter Obi is saying this because when he was campaigning, he made a point of duty of going around almost all the states. And he feels that as a leader, you should lead by example. Instead of going outside Nigeria to look for trade ties and alliances, why don't you try and stop the multinationals that are leaving Nigeria because Nigeria has become hazardous for their business? So I don't see why you should go out when you can actually. A lot of multinationals have left Nigeria because they can't do business with us anymore.
I don't want to argue with you, but we shouldn't be dependent on multinationals. We should be America doesn't have to invite multinationals to come and do things. So why should we when we have everything there? But I see what you're saying though. But for now, since we can't produce these things and we need those things to depend on us, he's messing it up. But he doesn't have a sustainable economic plan. What do you think, Falabi? Then we'll go to Kunle.
He doesn't have a sustainable economic plan. And now that he's saying that he wants to bring down inflation from 34% to 15%, there should be actionable steps. Maybe first quarter, this is what I'm going to do. At the end of first quarter, it should be plain to everybody that X, Y, Z.
How do you want to achieve it?
And then you tick that off. It's vague. Those plans are vague. You can't see
the vague, and we don't know what. And they have this freedom of information act.
That it's just like paper.
We want to know. We need to know exactly what plans he has with France.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So, what are your thoughts, Kunle?
So, I wanted to say the first issue I wanted to raise was on Peter Obi. Peter Obi has been complaining that because he's in opposition, that Tinubu has been crippling all his businesses up and down and trying to shut him down. And that may be part of the reason why he isn't as aggressively as vocal as he would like to be. Now, going on this subject of this drug trafficking man who owns a Maltese refinery.
And what's your address? What's your address? I think you live in Kwara State. You live in Kwara.
You live in Kwara. An autistic government is building a road for
Kule, be careful. Kule is in Kwara State.
Lagos, Calabar, as Cairo to Cape Town.
I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Yes. And this gentleman whom we are asking who is the third most corrupt leader in the world, who is also in charge of EFCC, ICPC, and the Nigeria police and the judiciary, is being managed by the third most corrupt leader in the world. We talk about fiscal policy. We talk about interest rates. We talk about all these foreign investment. He's no interest in foreign investment. Foreign investors are leaving. He knows they are leaving. He's not doing anything to bring them in. He's going there in order to get foreign currency to put in his own personal bank because it's easier to collect that kind of money than having to go through the rigorous process of explaining through all the channels.
So he's basically laundering money.
Income
he's laundering money. He's laundering money.
Laundering money.
He's laundering money. That money that he's borrowing is just going, forget your macro,
micro.
That money is just going back to Europe through his and his cronies' personal accounts. It may bounce into Nigeria and bounce back out again, but I assure you that money is not going to be used in Nigeria for anything creative. And they are never specific on what they want to do with the money. They are specific on taxation, but then when you look at the tax bill, they're not specific on how they plan to implement all these monies that they plan to generate from tax.
And going back to what Warif said, you're taxing people who have no money. Taxation is meant to be done when the country is productive.
When the economy is working well.
And it's supposed to be used to boost the economy. It's supposed to be used to build infrastructure. And when you're building rail at 10 times the cost of all the other nations, our light rail is 10 times more expensive than Ethiopia's light rail by the same Chinese.
It's corruption now.
Because of corruption. But then they now take over the narrative and they say Tinubu built Lagos. This opportunity that we had has been lost because we could have done 10 times the amount of rail for the amount of money. We've lost literally 100%.
Not only that, you could have done the whole rail and you could have started working on other things.
10 times the roads, 10 times the rail. We could have, that is the disaster, the missed opportunities that we are suffering because this initial investments by China, since the 60s in Europe, we've not seen any significant infrastructure buildup by Europe or the West. All our recent economic development has been from China. And Tinubu has taken away the opportunity for us to maximize the use of it in Lagos.
Inner corruption. And this goes back. China will do business with you, but they won't tell you how to run your country within. So they've given Nigeria opportunity. They've given us cheap and affordable infrastructure or good terms. But after that, when we now go into our own country, the politicians add to it so they can make money. And China will be like, that's not our business. But that's why Nigeria will never be part of BRICS, because they can't allow a country that has that much internal corruption to be part of them. You see what I'm saying? What do you think?
So we're being led by an alleged purported drug trafficker.
Yeah.
And I mean, all these things are allegations, but there's no smoke without fire. Nothing I'm saying.
No, we know. But here's what we know. Here's what we know. He's a CIA asset. The CIA said he is an asset. So we know that means he did something. He did something illegal.
He did something. He controls the judiciary. The judiciary bounced out these applications for him.
Let me tell you the truth.
And slapped a
Nigeria, you might as well call Nigeria America's 51st state. Nigeria is a state of America, but with no representation.
I don't even know how we rectify
American states in Africa.
But they don't get representation. At least in America, the other states, the federal government gives them money. So it's a free state. They take resources from Nigeria and they don't give anything back. What do you think? Let's go to Saeed.
Okay. Thank you for having me once again. So my own opinion is quite a little bit different from what everyone has said.
That's cool. That's why we have our show. We are different. Yeah.
Okay. So my own opinion is, why can't Obi speak the way Mr. Kunle just did?
Yes.
I mean, be frank. You are an opposition, for goodness sake. You are the only opposition. You are even at this moment.
I just explain why.
He's the only one.
Because he has business interests. He's hurting his business. But that means that he can't be a leader. That means he can't be a leader. Before we continue, Saeed, I'm going to let you continue. But remember what I said. Obi is not Malcolm X. Malcolm X died for Black people. Obi doesn't want to. It's not even about dying. He doesn't want to hurt his businesses. So he's not attacking the person he's trying to take down. Which means he shouldn't be a leader. He shouldn't be a leader then. Go ahead. Yeah. Because he's not afraid. A true leader will suffer with the people.
If I decided tomorrow that I want to be a politician, I want to go into politics, I would have thought about the end game and probably clean up some things that I can be used to be threatened or make sure my views are changed.
Yeah, but the problem is that he has businesses.
This shouldn't be happening in a democracy. He shouldn't be being fought by his businesses being attacked because he's in opposition. Any leader who is in a democracy does not expect to fight in that way.
Kunle, Nigeria is a fascist state. It's not a democratic country. Finish.
Now to continue with my point. To continue with my point here. So there is this lady, Arrive News interview I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. She's a journalist. She vividly told Obi on that that he is too mild, that he is too soft on the government, that all what he just said is talk. Let me know,
that's all he does.
That is last interview. To me, it is just talk. Look at how candid Mr. Kunle have just said now. We all know this. The evidence is there. Even you that.
Yeah, but Sai, look. Even our labor union leader. Even our labor union leader has shut up.
That you can get your right information for. You are not putting it out there. Okay, let me go back to that last election again. If I may land, please. Let me go back to that last election again. We all know, even me, as a Lagosian, I know that this guy will rig the election. Okay, 2023, they have rigged the election. You are now going to that court. The same court that everybody knows that you are not going to get justice. That lady, going back to that lady interview, she now said all Obi just needed to do during that election and court cases and all is just give a word to Nigerians. We are all, let me know, like normal masses, normal Nigerians, we are just waiting for Obi to just give the word, guys, defend this, defend that. I know I don't trust this.
Okay, so sorry, can I say something?
Let's shut the whole country down.
Sorry, can I say something?
We will do that without him doing anything.
Let me tell you why he can't do it. And I'll tell you why.
is like Jonathan.
Yeah, but let me say why Obi can't do that also.
Let me not lie to you. I'm not obedient.
Let me get my point. Let me get my point. Sorry, he belongs to a Labour Party, PDP. All of these parties depend on funding from outside organizations. So my argument is that Obi can never rally the nation because a political party can't do that. That's what an activist. He
might be arrested even.
Not only that, he's a political party.
Now look at what he's doing.
Political parties, every political party, including Labour Party, is corrupt. If you want to lead national strikes, it can't be from a party. It has to be from the labor union and from the citizens. Yeah. So Obi, he needs to step down as a politician and then become an activist.
Now look at what he's doing. He's now visiting Babangida, visiting all these.
No, the guy he's part of the system of power.
These are people that we all know that they are the people that destroy Nigeria.
Are his co-fathers. They're his co-fathers. Those are the people.
You are aligning with them just because you said you want
to. But here's the problem, Said. Let's look at it logically. These are the people who control how much money his political party gets. There's one cent. Let me finish. No, let me finish. In Nigeria, the political party system is driven by money. Peter Obi doesn't have money. So even the party he represents depends on corporate and power. Even Peter Obi's money, his party is kept afloat by U.S. dollars. So what I'm saying, he's in the wrong game. No, there's no such thing as a good politician. That's what I'm saying. What do you think, Afolabi?
Yes, I agree with you. And I also agree with what this guy said, that Peter Obi should have some aspect of cowboyism in his behavior. Yeah. He's too mild. An opposition leader shouldn't sound that way. You can't go anywhere talking that way. And that is why most of his party members are upset with him.
He needs to have a second in command. He needs to have a second in command who does those things for him. Yeah.
A labor leader should be outspoken, critically outspoken, and not just like he's like a school teacher. I don't see him.
He needs to hire Kemi Badenoch.
Exactly.
But right now, any kind of opposition is being called treason or criminal defamation, any kind of criticism. Criticism.
We all know that this present government this present government cannot arrest Peter Obi. We all know that. So he should take advantage of that.
They don't say so. They can.
Sorry, can I say something? Sorry, can I say something? No, they won't arrest him. So sorry, can I say something? Sorry, can I say something? Sorry, can I say something? Sorry, can I say something?
That's what I'm saying.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Yeah. Peter Obi is not he's not the president of the Labour Party. If he gets out of hand, they don't even need to arrest him. The leaders within that party will retrench him and push him out.
Yeah.
And not only that, and the reason they will do it is because they will stop getting money from the federal government. These parties get money from the federal government, and his party will be shut down. They don't have to put him in jail. What do you think? Yeah.
You know, you see, Labour Party, that's what Wike was saying, that Labour Party does not have the structure. If it was APC or PDP, Peter Obi would have...
He needs to start his own party. Yeah.
Peter Obi would have, if it was APC or PDP, Peter Obi would have gotten enough backup. But right now, he does not have that backup. And he's not that kind of, like what Mr. Falabi said, he should have that cowboy character. He does not have it. He's just like Goodluck Jonathan. He's a good man, but he's not a politician. Because if you watch... Yeah. So if you want to tackle these people, you must be dogged. You must be dogged and rugged and know how you play your game. And what, like I said, the Labour Party...
Is it unfortunate that the politicians in this country have to be that way in order to
but Kule, I'm going to say the same thing. Kule, I hate to sound like a broken record. Kule, I hate to say it like a broken record. Kule, I hate to say it sound like a broken record.
He's not supposed to be like that.
Can I say something? And I'm going to say this. No politician in the world represents the goodwill of the people. Democracy is driven by the US dollar. So until we change our constitutions and we now move away from capitalism, it will be the same with any politician.
We don't have a proper federal system, actually. We have a feudal system.
Yeah, but even if we do, the federal government itself in any country is power hungry and corrupt, and it doesn't like opposing voices. The governments don't like opposing voices, which is why I keep saying our generation is dead. We need to have people like Malcolm X and Dele Giwa and Co. again. That's where Nigeria and the world would change. The road to me. That's how the country would change. You can't depend on a politician is a professional criminal. That's their job. Sorry. Go ahead. What are your thoughts, Kule? Yeah.
Well, and like you said, what we have in the political system now is simply not going to work. All these ideas that everybody has and we want to do, they can't function because career politicians are in it to make money. I mean, I saw one saying that 40 million naira salary per month is not enough. Then they are collecting 1 billion
that
naira.
Is criminal. How can you say that? That is criminal.
Yes.
40 million.
$115 billion is being shared between about 4,600 senators.
And they are talking of 70,000 minimum wage.
Not even hidden. Officially, about 111 billion is being given to, I can't remember the number, it's 400 or 600 politicians. And then they budget something billion for health for the whole country and another 47
when I hear this, all these figures, my head is just...
for the whole country. So
can you imagine?
Are collecting more money than the money that is budgeted for the whole country for health and education.
That is why people kill themselves to be in Senate.
Talk to me about changing constitution and macro policy and micro and 15%. What the fudge, man? Come on.
That one is grammar. That's grammar.
That's grammar. It's a waste of time.
They are there for their pockets.
They're stealing money, right? They're stealing.
Official. It's not made official.
I can't discuss anything about the economy because I just can't get past the theft. You
can't fathom it.
What it is.
Okay, so guys,
broad daylight.
How much time do we have left here?
9 minutes.
Okay, so
I can't get past that to discuss
the
guys,
I hate to cut this
and all the other technicals.
Let's switch quickly to football.